Man, he came back, ran full sprinted, and up, boom.
Damn.
Man.
You,
Such
man,
a like
I
a
ain't gonna say
Kawhi
that,
edge
bro.
shot, it's just
Yeah, bro. Like it was a prayer, but the prayer was answered, bro. Like you can't say much more than that. He said, "Ball don't lie." That's all you can really say.
it
Like,
really don't. So yesterday we talked about the Western Conference Finals. Now we're gonna be talking about the Eastern Conference Finals. Really big game yesterday from the Indiana Pacers and the Knicks. A shootout. Went to the wire for sure. Some big shots. First and foremost, so I'm gonna just play the video. What we all
man, he came back, ran full sprinted, and up, boom.
Damn.
man.
Man,
Such a
I
like
ain't
a
gonna say
Kawhi
that,
edge
bro.
shot. It's just
Yeah, bro. Like it was a prayer, but the prayer was answered, bro. Like you can't say much more than that. He said, "Ball don't lie." That's all you can really say.
it
Like
really don't.
that's up there.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about that.
bro. That's up there. Not up there, but it's up there with that McGrady performance. The 13 points in 33 seconds, bro. He had
Dude,
6
20
straight threes.
Six
And it wasn't like
six
it
straight
wasn't
threes,
like no corner three open. Nah, it was contested.
dude.
Create your own bucket type of threes. That was he shot 8 for 9 from three, 101 true shooting percentage. That was one of the best playoff performances I've seen all playoffs, bro.
It's insane. He scored around 23 points in 3 minutes, pretty much. 23 points.
Like
Are you
That is
serious?
insane.
And I
That is
will say,
insane, dude.
I keep having to get on here and be like, I only watched the game at this part. And to be honest, I wasn't even too much worried about Neesmith hitting the amount of shots he did. And to be honest, I didn't think it was, what'd y'all say, 6 threes?
6 threes.
Yeah.
It felt like
shots.
3. It felt like 2 or 3, to be honest.
In the fourth quarter, he shot 6 or 7 from 3. 20 points in the fourth quarter.
That is insane.
I
mean, he did great. Because you look at the rest of the night, I mean, without that performance he did, they would have lost the game. The game was done.
100%,
yes, 100%.
It was just Halliburton the whole game, pretty much.
Because Cat and Brunson, they had 78 points combined, and then Neesmith and Halliburton, they erased it, bro. They made it like it didn't matter. They erased that.
It didn't. No, they did amazing. It's insane how this game went. And I look at it as the Knicks got too comfortable. We talked about this a couple days ago when Tay said this is a Tom Thibodeau kind of team. Is like they play their players the whole fourth quarter pretty much. They play them and everything. They kind of fell back pretty much in this game. They let go of the gas pedal pretty much in that fourth quarter. Too many turnovers, letting them shooting these shots, letting them come back late in the game, and then they gave a chance to the Pacers pretty much. Because in 2 minutes and 51 minutes left in the game, it was a 14-point game. I mean, and they still came back. I still can't believe how it did.
I mean, bro, he did the Selly, bro. That's a choke job, I'd say, from the Knicks. It's not just a blatant, crazy one, but it is a choke job. I think you have this one if you're New York. You want to get this one at the crib. Like Chris said, you got a great game from Cat and Brunson. You got to capitalize on that, man.
Yeah,
definitely.
Also, I peeped that in the last 2 minutes of the game. Josh Hart, they kept slipping on the court. I don't know if it was weight. I don't know what was going on.
Really?
If it was the shoes.
And that's what led off to the turnovers, though. That led
a lot. Yeah, they kept slipping and sliding. I don't know because a lot, even on defense too, with Neesmith, they kept falling, which gives them open looks to be able to shoot the three. And that was a big part of it too, because they were. It wasn't like they weren't scoring on offense. They were getting some buckets. They were getting some layups. Trying to control the pace. They tried to control the pace. It wasn't like a really bad choke job, but the biggest sell was that on defense they could not get a stop.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Water on the court definitely plays a part. I could do if that's how they really lost on like some serious stuff.
Yeah.
But I still got my take on it, and I'm not hating on the Knicks at all. I'm just saying you want to get game one at MSG. Yeah. It's the conference finals, man. We can't even because you don't even want to go, and I'm gonna keep saying this. You don't even want to get out of this series, get up out of here in 6 or 7 games, and then be so wore out you can't even compete for the finals. So you gotta get.
I know what you mean with that. Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's why. Hey, I'm standing on my take, bro. Indian 5, bro.
Indian 5. That is definitely a hot take. I will say
it's not bold. I mean, they've done it every single game, pretty much. They've won game one every series. They have won game one in every series too. That's another thing.
I'm just saying, bro. This ain't nothing new.
No, we can't act like this Knicks team isn't as hot as they are right now, bro. Like
they're hot,
we cannot do that. I understand game winner, choke job, jokes aside, bro.
Yeah.
The Knicks are not losing this series in 5 games. They're probably gonna win this series in 5 games, to be honest.
Wow. So you have New York winning 4 straight games.
I said they probably will win in 5 games. I personally have New York getting it done, probably in 6 or 7. Okay. But they could definitely win in 5 games. Like, bro, let's not act like they can't turn it around. Because at its root, and once again, it kind of sounds like I'm hating. The Pacers won this game by 3 points. They won it in overtime. It's not like they won this game outright or they blew the Knicks out. The Knicks put up an incredible fight.
So they did. I mean, they were up one of the biggest leads of all time in the fourth quarter. I saw a stat. About 1,000 teams were undefeated leading in the fourth quarter by like 24, I think. Yeah. With like 9 minutes left in the game or 6 minutes. Like they were undefeated, and then now the Knicks are that one team losing. Yeah. I mean, of having this chance of that happening is very slim. I don't think they're going to have another game like this. Like they're going to push in the gas pedal. They're not going to lose another game like this, a blowout.
We did say this about India and Cleveland in there.
We definitely did. Cleveland was hurt though, like really hurt though.
So do y'all think that Indiana had an easy run to the ECF or the Knicks?
Oh, Indiana.
I think it's very similar. I think it's very similar because you look at the first round. The Knicks played the young Detroit. I think I'll still take Detroit over the Bucks in my opinion. And in the Boston series in Cleveland, they were both hurt in that series. Both of those teams were both hurt. I think it's very evident of not having their full team at strength. I think they're both even. You can't really say different runs with each other. I think it's very similar, if anything.
I think it goes to Indy here, just off of the caliber of teams they had to play as far as like the injury bug and stuff goes. Yeah. I think every playoff run you're gonna have a series that's a trap series for you where you could lose. That could come in the first round, the second round, or the third round. I think Indy just caught a break, not having to play that the first game or first 2 games in the entire playoff without having to deal with Dame. So your only objective is just limiting Giannis. So you got you have a pretty easy first round matchup against the Bucks. And then you go play a Cavs team. Donovan Mitchell is a phenomenal basketball player. He played very, very good, but they were also banged up. You have games without Garland. These are games on Nesmith and on Halliburton where they don't have to worry about a really good point guard or shooting guard. So they can kind of not chill, but they can kind of deal with more stars around the opposing team is what I'm trying to say. So I say Indiana had the easier path.
Okay.
Do you think the Cavs losing the Cavs not having Garland and Mobley is bigger than Boston not having Tatum and Porzingis? Well, they have Porzingis, but not at full health.
Yes. Evan Mobley's the defensive player of the year, bro.
He was.
And Garland's need him down the stretch. You need him down the stretch, boss.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I can see that. You got to look at it also. The whole Knicks playoff run. It has all been crazy runs and comebacks, pretty much. It was due to come back on them. You got to look at it. It was due to come back and having a choke because every single series, every single game, they came back twice in the Boston series, and then they had that 21-0 run in the Detroit series. I think in the first game. I mean, it was due to happen. About that. Yeah, I think it's kind of karma coming back on them a little bit, maybe of having this choke. Maybe I don't know.
I got you. You really can't. You can't win every. Because I'm gonna add to Brendan's point here. The best fourth quarter team in the playoffs, probably in the NBA right now. So we saying
it's going to happen. Yeah.
So let's just stay in this series going forward. We're not gonna touch on the West. We're gonna stay in the East. Yeah. We don't like to do predictions too much on this podcast, on this show. But going into game 2, back again at MSG. What do these teams need to do to make sure they come up on the top? But more specifically, New York.
Pretty much don't let off the gas pedal. Kill them. You got to kill them. I mean, that's what you let the Pacers do the thing that you usually do, come back on teams or go on crazy runs. I mean, Indiana literally did what the Knicks did last series against Boston, pretty much. I mean, Halliburton's having that villain arc right now, the villain arc of being Reggie Miller 2.0, and I love that pretty much. I mean, it's giving – the Pacers just love, I think, beating the crap out of the Knicks pretty much. I mean, they did last year, 4-1 at Madison Square Garden. I mean, I just think heading to game 2, the Knicks just need to find where they're at. You need Cat to drop another 35. Hopefully, he can do it back-to-back games. We know Brunson can do his thing. You know, Tay, what it says, he's the clutchest player in the NBA.
He is.
I just think seeing this game, you just need to kill him. You just don't let Indiana come back on you, and you just need limited turnovers, pretty much.
Yeah. I'll say that, games are not won off of one play in the NBA, but for sure they won in the fourth quarter, right? So for the Knicks, you need to make sure you control the fourth quarter, you win the fourth quarter. Turnovers, you have to limit them, you have to control the pace. Like I said earlier, you have to make sure on defense, you're getting stops, and on offense, you control the shot clock, you get efficient buckets. You're not forcing passes, forcing shots. You're taking good shots, and you're making sure that the Pacers don't have a chance to come back. Because like last game, the first, second, third quarter, they're in control. They were up by 15, 2 minutes to go. Yeah. And then in the end, they said, you know what, it's whatever. They came back and did whatever they wanted to, and they took it to overtime and they won the game. So game 2, you're at the crib. This is your chance to say, all right, this is our series, right? Mm-hmm. And just control the fourth quarter. If you win the fourth quarter, whoever wins the fourth quarter will win the game.
Definitely.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. I'm with all of y'all. I think it's going to come down to the wire, especially with this a very deep Indiana Pacers roster. But personally, for me, I think keys to success for the New York Knicks is OG. Man, it should not be this much pressure on Brunson and Cat to drop 40, 45 points in these games. Like if OG Anunoby can step up and maybe add, anywhere from 10 to 20 points and take the offensive pressure as well as Mikal Bridges off of these of these stars, you have to do that. While they do play phenomenal defense, I'm talking OG and Mikal, offensively, if they could take some of the weight off of Brunson and Cass back, especially once again against a very deep Indiana Pacers roster. You got guys like TJ off the bench, Benedict Mathurin off the bench. You got to have guys who can match that offensive level. And you can't just have these guys these games where certain players in the starting lineup for the New York Knicks are just taken out of the game offensively. You're not going to win like that. You don't want your star-studded players to have to go drop 50. No, you can't do that. Y'all remember when we were talking about the Pacers, in the first 2 rounds or so, or in the first round more specifically, and we were like, yo, why does Tyrese Halliburton only have, 18 and 8 and 10? It's like, no, because he doesn't have to match. He didn't have to match Milwaukee's offensive level.
Yeah.
In this conference finals for the Knicks, they have to match the Pacers' offensive level. And to do that, you have to have strength in numbers. So to make a long story short, I just think guys like OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, maybe some pieces off the bench need to step up and score the ball more.
No, for sure.
Oh, for sure. I agree with that too. I mean, you look at the Pacers, they have a couple of players that can go off the bench, score around 12 points pretty much. And it's the same.
They had 4 players in double figures off the bench in that game.
Yeah, they did pretty much. I mean, I look at, the Knicks. I mean, it's the same thing I said last series is OG. Where's OG? Where is he at? What can he show up? He's supposed to be the second guard to Jalen Brunson, pretty much be the help for him, because we know Cat's going to be there some nights in a row. I mean, he'll drop his 30 or drop 17, depending how he performs. But OG doesn't show up at all. I mean, his 3-point percentage has been terrible through the whole playoffs, except the first round, I think. I mean, I need to expect a big performance from him in game 2. Same with Mikal. I mean, I know Mikal is more of a defensive anchor than anything, but you can't just like
open threes and
you just can't have that. You got to score and continue helping Jalen Brunson and Cat.
Yeah, I think this New York team is really good. With what they got going on. But when you have those games where OG is making an offensive impact, and as well as Mikal, man, they go from a really good team to like NBA champion level.
No.
Like that Thunder level, that Thunder. We know any given night.
Yeah, like how we were on J-Dub's head and the rest of their team. So
it's pretty much the same thing, because we know OKC can do the same thing, blow out any team. The Knicks can do the same exact thing. They have that star power. It's just depending if the player's going to show up or they're going to shoot really good that night. That's the difference between the Pacers with any of these other teams, because the Pacers just have a full roster. Because any given night, the one player can go off. Because like Naismith went off that last night. He was their other player. And then we don't even know game 2. Siakam have a great night, or Miles Turner have a great night. That's the difference between that's the difference between the Pacers, between all 3 of these teams. It's really interesting about it.
Yeah, facts. I'd agree. So we're gonna come back to the NBA talk. Definitely as the conference finals continue to speed up. But now let's move over. We've talked NFL, we talked a lot of sports. Now let's go to college football. We haven't talked college football in a minute. College football committee came out today and announced they're switching to a straight seeding format for the upcoming season. What are our thoughts on this change? Of course, the 12-team playoff. I think we all knew it wasn't going to be perfect the first year. I think it was as perfect as you can get it for a trial run. Yeah. What are we thinking of these new changes?
I mean, I like it. I like it a lot.
I think it's kind of just like standard. Like it's not nothing like groundbreaking, but I feel like there was definitely some discrepancy with Boise State getting ranked as high as they did or getting their bye. That different conferences, I feel like, hold different weights.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's kind of iffy because then it's like, what's the point of playing a conference championship game if you don't get a bye out of it or you'll get a top seed out of it? Like, what's the – it kind of removes – like, it's the same thing for NFL. If you take away the what's it called? The seeding, you make it towards by record.
Yeah.
Then what's the point of playing the tough divisional games or the conference games if you win the conference, it doesn't really matter for like.
That's
to be honest,
that's a difficult part of that's a
because I feel like the committee having a part. It's like they should have a part, but like not as much of a part in it. I feel like the ball. I feel like it should just be like ball on line. Like if the team wins the conference, they even if it's a weak conference like Mountain West. If they got it, bro, they got it. That's just how.
I feel like they changed it to kind of rank them. I feel like it's more so not to make these like crazy changes to the teams that are in that won their championship. I think it's more so like for example, and this is just what I took from it. I'm not an expert, but it's like, okay, we don't want 12 seeded Arizona State at the 4 seed, put Boise State at the 4 seed, and move Arizona State to the 3 seed of the teams that get a bye. That's kind of how I peeped it. I don't know though.
Yeah. Well, we got to look at it as this because last year the same thing happened because SMU and Alabama were going at it. Who was going to get that last spot, that 11 seed? Because SMU lost to Clemson pretty much. Yeah. They could have forfeited that game. They didn't have to play and they would have kept their spot. It just there was conversations about that a 9-3 team or a team that played in a conference championship game, and with this playoff implication because now. What it looks like is you're still going to have value to the conference championship game. You're automatic bid. You still get the automatic bid pretty much.
Yeah.
I just think now, I'm just trying to think of a team. I think the seeds that are going to matter the most though is going to be that 11 seed. I think for those teams that are trying to make the playoffs and they don't win their conference championship because the 12 seed is always going to be the lower conference championship. I think now it's going to be like, the Mountain West, the MAC, or something like that, a lower team seed than anything. Yeah. I think with this, it's just going to be more different because you're not going to have Ohio State versus Oregon again. They're not going to have that. The two best teams in the nation face each other like that. It's going to go based on strictly record and best team overall of it because you're not going to have Boise State with a bye or Arizona State with a bye, knowing, Texas deserves a bye, though. We know that. We know Texas deserves a bye. They're better than them. We did see Arizona State almost, beat Texas this year. We did see that.
Yeah. I got
Scatterball, man.
Man, right, that was a wrecking machine. Giants got one. We can talk about the Giants cooking. Y'all see my boy Abdul 4-5, 4-5. I think guaranteed. Something like that. At least half that guarantee.
Man, every time I see that, I'm like, damn, like Shador made 4.6, bro.
4.6.
Man, we moving, bro.
Man, $40 million, man. I can't like I don't be like a pocket watching that, but like, man, $40 million like he lost, bro. I'm just like,
Cam Moore
I'll be damned. I'm going through the whole process. They telling me I'm going in the first round, possibly top 10, and I don't, fifth. That's
40
was trolling them. Then the dude trolling them was wearing, the gear. Yeah. It's a whole mess. But we're gonna keep talking college football. I will add though, as far as this playoff stuff goes, they are continuing to make changes and continuing to do stuff through June and July. So we got a lot of off season left for college football. Definitely. But as always, we're gonna keep talking sports, NBA, NFL, college football, whatever sport, we're gonna talk about it. So make sure y'all subscribe, turn on notifications so y'all don't miss a video. And as always, we appreciate y'all.